This is an Asian website for gays and lesbians, and this is the message board. 19-year-old Rubina is an Asian lesbian, and she's placing an ad on the website for her perfect partner. He must be a Muslim man and gay. She wants a marriage of convenience. Her face is hidden because her family do not know that she is a lesbian.
I just want to make my life easier. I want to get my family and extended family off my back because they're pressurising me to get married to a boy.
She says her family want her to have an arranged marriage.
In my culture, it's not acceptable to be gay. So if I have a marriage of convenience, it'll give them the illusion that I'm straight, and then I can carry on my life and be with who I want.
Gay activists say in areas such as this, Southall, West London, gays and lesbians have been attacked by their families because of their sexuality. They say this is why some people are turning to marriages of convenience. They want to fit in with Asian society. This Asian gay activist says he was pressured by his family into getting married. He has a son. He's now divorced and campaigns on gay issues. He says marriages of convenience are common because of the situation facing many homosexuals.
I've seen 16-year-olds, I've seen 40, 50-year-olds coming to me who are being forced into marriage just to make their community happier. There is an increasing number of men and women who are trying to commit suicide because of their sexual orientation, that they can't reveal it to their family.
Balbir Geriwal runs a Sikh temple in West London. She is well aware of marriages of convenience and says they are destructive.
It's time they should come out, say so to the parents, make them sit and make them understand. And why do they have to go through these rituals and ceremonies and spending so much money and then bringing the heartache to the parents? And I've seen some parents have died because of this. Such a big shock.
However, like hundreds of others, Rubina is prepared to take the risks. She says as an Asian lesbian, a marriage of convenience is her only option. Naresh Puri, BBC News.
Well, let's get more of an insight into this. We're joined by Leila Kumari. That's not her real name. She's a Hindu lesbian, and we've agreed to conceal her identity because of the difficulties and pressures she says gay people face in the Asian community. Thanks very much for talking to us, though, here on BBC News 24. Let's talk about those pressures. I mean, you don't feel comfortable even showing your face, so is that why people are doing this?
I think there are a number of reasons why people are feeling that they have to have marriages of convenience. I think the big thing is that we are scared of being judged by other members of our community, and in my case, obviously, I'm protecting my family. I am out to my family, but I'm not out to the wider community, and quite frankly, I don't think it's any of their business. But there is a responsibility to protect your family, and that's drummed into a lot of Asian people when they're growing up.
Okay, so what are the pressures? A, protecting your family, but also the pressures on having to get married within the Asian community.
Well, I think Asian parents have it drummed into them when they're children, when they're young, and when they become parents, that they have a duty to get their children married, and so that goes on. So if a parent feels that it's their duty to get their child married, a lot of pressure is put onto their child to get married. And often marriage is a way out of the family home, particularly if you're a daughter. Though that has changed a little bit, but there are a lot of Asian girls who still are under that pressure that the only way you're going to leave the parental home is if you get married. So the pressure to get married is in the community, and it's been going on for generations. And to challenge that, to challenge the concept of the only way out of the parental home to get married, I think for people who are lesbian, you need to stand up and challenge the homophobia that exists within the Asian community.
Presumably, even if they go ahead with these pretend marriages, there are added pressures, because once you're married, presumably their parents want them to have children as well.
Yeah, marriage convenience is a short-term solution for a very, very big problem. Once you've got married, once you've got it through your head that you can actually sort of set up a home, albeit for a very short time. I mean, most people who go through marriage convenience go through it with the idea that they'll get divorced in 2 or 3 years' time, and that way they've fulfilled their duty of actually getting married. As I said, it's a short-term solution, which then brings with it a whole set of other problems. You leave one set of expectations, those of your parents, for another set of expectations, and those of your in-laws, particularly if you're a girl, particularly if you're a woman. The expectations of you as a daughter-in-law are massive, to produce children, to maybe look after the in-laws. So the pressures keep building.
And how kind of intrusive, I mean, presumably it depends on the family, but how intrusive are Asian families within a marriage and watching a couple?
Well, I mean, I think that's a very difficult thing to sort of say, because obviously each family is very different. I don't think Asian parents may or may not be any more intrusive than Western parents or in-laws might be. But the pressure of actually being married brings with it a whole set of other expectations. Those go on.
You mentioned that your family know about you and all the rest of it. What about people perhaps watching us in a similar position? What is your advice to them, really?
I think coming out's a very big thing to do, and I think that if you decide to come out to your family, it's something you shouldn't think about, you know, just at a whim, because you don't know how they're going to react. They might be violent. There will definitely be tears, and again, that's not just the experience of Asian people Asian lesbian gay people coming out. That's a very Western thing. I mean, you know, I know many people from, you know, white culture, from English culture, whose parents also cried and beat their breasts and, you know, turned to the church for support. But coming out is a very hard process. You have to be on your own journey. You have to be clear that this is what you want to do, and maybe be aware of some of the risks that, you know, are there from when you come out. I would also say that when you come out, parents also need to have a time to adjust. They also come out. When you're coming out, they're coming out, and I think that, you know, both parties have to be considerate.
Leila Kumari, as she likes to be known, talking a little earlier to Louise.